Hey everyone, it's Mike, the nootropic reviewer. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and during this video I'm going to talk about Concerta. This is 27 milligrams and it can do some miraculous things when it comes to helping you with your focus, your concentration, and your mood. So let this video be your guide. We're going to go over my Concerta experience. It'll be a Concerta review. We'll talk about it in comparison to other prescriptions such as Concerta vs Adderall, Concerta vs Vyvanse, Concerta vs Ritalin, and I'll go over some of the most common concerns about it, such as Concerta side effects, the Concerta dosage, Concerta for weight loss. I was personally on it for about 3 years, on and off, and it was my experience that it is absolutely fantastic. It absolutely works, but the come downs and the crash just essentially taint the whole experience, and for that reason I am not a user and I never plan to touch this stuff again. Initially I began taking it after I used Ritalin, and Ritalin was used to help me with studying. My doc suggested it because I was having trouble studying. I was just noticing that I would read and regress to the beginning of the paragraph or the beginning of the page, and it was just damn hard to pay attention. So I was on Ritalin at a very small dose, and Ritalin was great. It would help you to concentrate for a couple of hours, maybe 2 to 3 hours. But because of that, you have to take it twice per day. It could interfere with your sleep, and it just didn't last long enough. So was I addressed this concern with my doc, and then I was put on Concerta, initially at 18 milligrams, and then I went up to 27 milligrams. Here's what the pill looks like just right here. And this is something you would just take once a day, once in the morning. That's worked for me. And it would last for about 12 to 13 hours until it's just out of your system. Does it work? Yes, 100%. After taking it, my grades improved. I was able to spend less time studying, and I was just so engaged and so interested in my work, and I was so ambitious and overconfident. So who this is appropriate for is somebody who's in a slump. If you're somebody like, even if you're in sales, or you're somebody that is not able to take action because you're a little bit discouraged on your results lately, or you have some sort of like mindset block, Concerta is magical. It actually has helped me with my sales as well when I used it for experimental sake. But as a student, you're just able to zone in, be so engaged and so immersed into your work, almost to the point where like everything outside of studying is just a distraction that you want to get rid of. So you will neglect your social life as a result of taking Concerta. Don't be surprised if that happens and you get a little bit imbalanced, but hey, it could be worth it during specific periods of your life. There were a lot of signs that it was working, just from being so stimulated both mentally and physically as well, almost like you wanted to always go on a run. Your mind was just essentially racing to the point that things were so fast, like simple things like doing mental math in your head, like multiplication or dividing, you're just able to do things quicker, and your abilities in yourself are just so unrealistic. It's almost like you're having slight mania. But unfortunately, as the saying goes, what comes up must come down, and with Concerta that was definitely the case, as when you seem to go off of Concerta, you feel horrible. And with caffeine, it's similar to the effect that with caffeine, you feel the high, you feel the mood uplift, you feel the concentration, but afterwards, during that crash, you feel that brain fog, you feel lethargic, you feel demotivated. And imagine feeling that way for about 2 weeks straight, because that's how it was with Concerta for me. During the 2 periods when I took Concerta, even on a dose as small as 27 milligrams, which is like a moderate dose, even on the lower side, it was horrible. I didn't want to talk to people. I had to force myself to get to the gym or get out of bed. And that's strange for me, because I typically look forward to working out, but you just feel very demotivated. You almost feel depressed. You just have to trust the process ultimately and know that the withdrawal symptoms and the withdrawal effects, they don't last forever. Give it 2 weeks, but man, those 2 weeks are just so miserable, and it makes you just question Concerta. It's like, if I'm feeling this bad now, how strong was this stuff before? Unfortunately, that's my Concerta experience, and I cannot say very positive things about it after going through that. And like we talked about Concerta versus Adderall, Adderall is very similar this way, in that most people feel the withdrawal effects and they are very, very severe. But with Adderall, it's just stronger, from the appetite suppression to the focus to the mood uplift. So Concerta is a good substitute because Concerta, you feel the effects that Adderall can produce, but it's not to the same extent, and the withdrawals are not as bad. Imagine the Concerta withdrawal effects, multiply that by 5, and that's what you have during that period after you're on Adderall and you're experiencing the withdrawal effects. They're really bad. And people often ask me what are my thoughts in terms of Vyvanse and Concerta versus Vyvanse, and is me personally, I experienced Vyvanse, but it was nowhere as strong as Concerta was. If I just wanted to experience what an ADHD tool could do for me, I would go with Concerta because you can really feel it. You feel the focus enhancing effects, and you're just a lot more productive. It is absolutely brilliant that way. But with Vyvanse, I can't say the same. I mean, it helps with focus, but I did not like how dehydrated I would feel with Vyvanse. Like, if you're somebody that's somewhat lean, you'll notice the day after you take Vyvanse, you're just more defined. Like, my abs look ripped, I look vascular, and after experiencing that, I was like, wow, this is so dehydrating. And after experiencing that and noticing how effective Vyvanse was as far as a diuretic, it just scared me to the point where I was like, man, just get off all this stuff, get off Ritalin, get off Concerta, get off Vyvanse, and start to explore nootropics. Learn about things like piracetam, all the racetams, Noopept, C-Max, NSI 189, and then complement it with adaptogens like ashwagandha, like bacopa, and rhodiola. And that is what I'm just so grateful for, because although there are so many nootropics and there's so many different ones to try and test, and they're so highly variable between people in that they'll work for some people, they won't work for others, they are just so much better than these very, very effective stimulants that you could be on. When it comes to stimulants like these, I'm really a believer that the stronger the effect, the stronger the side effect is going to be. So educate yourself about nootropics and healthy practices you can incorporate in your life. Before exploring into something as strong as Concerta, make sure that your nutrition's right, make sure you're exercising. When I talk about nutrition, be mindful of your carbohydrate intake. Be sure you're taking like your healthy fats, you're getting adequate protein, and you're in the gym doing cardio at least 3 to 4 times per day, because cardio has really been proven to improve your focus, improve your memory, and improve your general cognition. If you were to ask me about Concerta's side effects, it was just at the end of the day. Like, as I mentioned, Concerta is effective for about 12 hours or so, but during that period, like 11, 12 plus hours after taking it, you're highly irritable, you're moody, you feel like a bit of brain fog, and you're just not in a good state. You're almost more productive during that latter period of the time if you did not take Concerta in the first place. But other than that, I wouldn't say that the side effects are that severe. It's more so just the withdrawals. I did notice I had this strange tendency that I would really crave unhealthy food. Like, believe it or not, people ask me about Concerta weight loss and what are its uses when it comes to trying to lose fat. I didn't have a good experience with Concerta in that with Concerta, I was just wanting coffee too much to the point that it was affecting my sleep quality, and I would really seem to like crave sugary foods, fatty foods, all the stuff that you do not want to be having in your diet. Me personally, during that period of being on Concerta, believe it or not, I gained weight. I put on about 20 pounds, and these were not good pounds, these were bad pounds. This is 20 pounds of fat. It was such that it was just within a 12-month period, but thankfully, because of my knowledge of exercise and nutrition, I was able to lose the weight pretty quickly. But if you're somebody that's on Concerta, you're probably noticing the same thing, which is why it's a good idea to get off of it. You'll notice that you will not bump into a lot of physically fit people who are taking Adderall, Concerta, or Vyvanse, because what's so is when you're using these tools, you're so immersed in your work, you're eating unhealthy, you're skipping meals, you're not drinking water, you're not caught up in sleep, and you're finding that you can get away with these mini naps. And that's what so is with Concerta. It was really just cool that I could sleep a lot less and just get away with naps here and there because I'm just so stimulated from taking it. It's gonna definitely do some really cool things when it comes to being in a good state despite being sleep deprived. And that is my Concerta experience. I hope you all found this helpful. If you did, be sure to click subscribe, click the bell. It really does help the channel. Give me a like or a dislike. Be sure to comment, and I really appreciate the feedback. I'm gonna respond to all comments within 24 hours. And hey, if you can think of anyone else that may benefit from this information, just forward the YouTube link over to them, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Do check out the description box below, as it has some of the nootropics which I'm on, and therefore you can make sure that if you are to purchase these nootropics, that you're purchasing the right brands and you're purchasing them in the right amounts, because that is very important. I'll look forward to seeing you all next time. You know about modafinil. Now, this video will be your guide. Firstly, it's